Hey guys, it's John McSwagan here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another WWW, also known as Who Would Win. In this episode, we're going to be putting up two characters that have got extremely good TV shows on Netflix and on the CW verse for DC. We're going to be putting up Marvel's Daredevil, and we're going to be putting him up against the Emerald Archer Green Arrow. This is going to be a fair fight, no help from anyone, standard equipment. No extra armor or anything like that, and it's not going to be any Omega forms or anything for either of them, so they can't go like God mode or something like that, because that's just going to be over the top. For example, if it was Hulk, he couldn't go into World Breaker Hulk form, just Hulk, and for this version, they can't go into for Devil mode or something like that for Daredevil. And so with that said, let's get into this. Off we have Daredevil. Daredevil's origin story relates that while living in the historically gritty of crime-ridden, working-class Irish-American neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen in New York City, Matthew Michael Matt Murdock is blinded by a radioactive substance that falls from a truck after he pushes a man to safety from the oncoming vehicle. While he no longer can see, the radioactive exposure heightens his remaining senses beyond normal human ability and gives him a radar sense. His father, a boxer named Jack Murdock, supports him as he grows up, though Jack is later killed by gangsters after refusing to throw a fight. After donning a yellow and dark red costume, later all dark red, Matt seeks out revenge against his father's killers as the superhero Daredevil, fighting against his many enemies including Bullseye and Kingpin. He also becomes a lawyer after having graduated from law school with his best friend and roommate Franklin Foggy Nelson. Daredevil is also commonly known by such epithets as the Man Without Fear and the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Although the character is blind, his four remaining senses function with superhuman accuracy and sensitivity, giving him abilities far beyond the limits of a sighted person. Few characters know that the hero cannot see. Daredevil will develop the radar sense, which is similar to echolocation. Writer and co-writer Stan Lee said that he was worried that blind people would be offended at how far he exaggerated the way a blind person's remaining senses are enhanced, but that his fears were assuaged by letters from organizations such as the Lighthouse for the Blind, which said that blind people greatly enjoyed having Daredevil comics read to them. The Beyonder once restored Daredevil's eyesight, but suspecting a trick on Beyonder's part, Daredevil immediately insisted that his blindness may be restored. Beyonder reluctantly agreed. When Frank Miller expanded most of Daredevil's abilities, he attempted to make them extraordinary enough to be exciting, but not on par with Superman, noting Superman's distinctively unbelievable powers. When Miller joined the title in 1979, the first thing he did to the character was revamp his radar sense and made it less distinct and more believable. He wanted Daredevil to have the proximity sense that some martial artists claim to have. Due to the character's sense of touch, Daredevil can read by passing his fingers over the letters on a page. Through laminated pages prevented him from reading the ink. Daredevil has commonly used his superhuman hearing to serve as a polygraph for interrogation by listening for changes in a person's heartbeat. This ability can be fooled if the other person's heart is not beating at a natural rate, such as if they have an artificial pacemaker. Just as Daredevil's other senses are stronger, they are also sensitive. His main weakness is his vulnerability to powerful sounds or odors that can temporarily weaken his radar sense. This weakness is often used to immobilize Daredevil. Alternatively, the lack of taste or smell of certain substances can be used against him, as in one instance of a hallucinogenic drug designed so that Daredevil could not tell he was drugged. He senses a highly minor atmospheric disturbance created moments before a teleporting character appears. While his radar sense mostly compensates for his blindness, it has certain limitations. He cannot perceive color without touch, and he can only read printed matter if the ink is raised enough for his sense of touch. Most photographs, televisions, and computer screens are blank to him. However, the radar sense has shown on numerous occasions the ability to see through walls and fabrics. The radar sense also grants him an omnidirectional field of vision. These two latter abilities are the most notable advantages the radar has over normal vision. Although he has no superhuman physical attributes beyond an enhanced sense of balance, Daredevil is a master of martial arts, having been trained by Stick. Daredevil is a master hand-to-hand combatant. His typical moves are unique blends of the martial arts of ninjutsu, jujitsu, aikido, judo, karate, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, silat, capoeira, wrestling, and stick fighting, combined with American-style boxing, while making full use of his gymnastic capabilities. Daredevil's signature weapon is his specially designed baton, which he created, disguised as a blind man's cane in civilian garb. It is a multi-purpose weapon and tool that contains 30 feet of aircraft control cable connected to a case-hardened steel grappling hook. Internal mechanisms allow the cable to be neatly wound and unwound, while a powerful spring launches the grapple. The handle can be straightened for use when throwing. The club can be split into two parts, one of which is a fighting baton, the other of which ends in a curved hook. In his civilian identity, Murdoch is a skilled and respected New York attorney. He is a skilled detective, tracker, and interrogation expert, as well as being an expert marksman. The Crisis on Infinite Earths ended the multiverse and streamlined the entire DC universe into a new continuity. Oliver Queen was still a wealthy playboy, but also the hard-working corporate executive of Queen Industries. After drunkenly falling off his boat and washed up on an island, he became a hunter to survive. He was finally able to escape when he caught a group of drug dealers using the location for an illegal marijuana farm, and turned them into the authorities. Queen is also very aware of the irony in being a millionaire industrialist considered an anti-establishment Robin Hood-like figure. The revisionary story, Green Arrow Year 1, changes some of this and expands on his island adventures. Prior to the incident, he is shown to be a rich playboy and adventurous, thrill-seeking alcoholic with no real sense of direction or responsibility, struggling to find a meaning in a hollow existence of luxury. His best friend, Hackett, betrayed him to embezzle money and shot him off a boat in the middle of the ocean. Oliver landed on an island controlled by China White, ruthless leader of a massive drug cartel, and mastered his bow to shut down her heroin company. Before coming home, this experience inspired him to fight crime regularly. The first criminal he took down was as a vigilante was a masked gun-wielding gangster named the Gooch. Green Arrow was a master archer with his accomplishments standing as superhuman, though it is just due to natural talent and years of experience. He claims that he's able to shoot 29 arrows in under a minute, and when he corrected Black Canary for saying 26, he also is able to shoot arrows up to 95 miles per hour. He has demonstrated the ability to shoot an arrow down the barrel of a gun and split a drop of water while it slowly leaves the tap, and has made several accurate shots while simultaneously performing an acrobatic maneuver. In CBAT-W's television show, the Green Arrow is also depicted as able to accurately and rapidly shoot tennis balls as they are thrown up into the air. The Green Arrow is capable of aiming and shooting at almost any area of the human body. He typically aims to only wound and only kills in the dearest of situations. One of the core elements of his arsenal is the use of trick arrows. Armed with explosive arrows, grappling arrows, and his famous boxing glove arrow, in recent years he has used these arrows in conjunction with the regular arrows. Unlike most vigilantes, Green Arrow is a poor combatant compared to martial arts experts such as Batman and Black Canary. However, he is a capable brawler and is able to take down common street thugs. However, by the time of 1 year later, he became a martial artist in his own right, after revealing that he had trained for several months with some of the finest martial artists, including Deathstroke's trainer, Natus. Although it is not his weapon of choice, Green Arrow is also an accomplished swordsman, able to deflect an incoming arrow with one and prove to be a challenge for other skilled swordsmen such as Deathstroke and Red Hood. Green Arrow has also proven to be an accomplished hunter, acrobat, survivalist, tactician, politician, and pilot, as during in the Golden Age stories. Green Arrow owned and flew an arrow-shaped airplane called the Aeroplane. In 1950 stories, he drove an arrow-shaped automobile dubbed the Arrow Car. Now, this is... I know I probably say this quite a lot in my videos, but this is actually the hardest one I've ever had, because I'm still a bit iffy about it, but I've got some points on it as why I think this person would win, and I'm going to have to say Green Arrow would win. Now, here's why. Because if Daredevil was able to stay at a slight distance, which he would be able to do, and if Green Arrow was able to shoot somewhat close to Daredevil, which he is known to do because he's an expert marksman, be able to use one of his trick arrows to emit a loud noise and be able to disrupt his radar sense, he then could be able to instantly get a quick shot onto his leg or something like that, which would then disrupt it, which then it would make it very easy for Green Arrow to come in and finish him off or something like that. But if it was in a hand-to-hand combat situation, Daredevil would probably get the upper hand, but then Green Arrow might be able to do something to deflect it or something like that. But if Green Arrow could keep him at a distance and then go up for the attack at the very end once he's got the radar sensors cut down for a short amount of time and shot in the leg and arms 1 or 2 times, then maybe he should be able to do quite a lot of damage then and be able to get Daredevil down. And that is the only really situation I could think of doing that, because if Daredevil was able to get up close and take that, he would definitely be able to do that. And Daredevil's accuracy is just not as good as Green Arrow's. Green Arrow's is not as good as Hawkeye's. It's really good, but it's not as good as Hawkeye's. But yes, I would definitely say that Green Arrow would have this one in the bag. And so that is it for this video. Hope you guys did like this video as much as I did making it. Write down your comments and opinions on this topic in the comments below, because I'd like to know your opinions on this fight. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see all you people in the next video. Bye.